Hello, welcome to our talk show and podcast. I'm Mitch. This is George, who today is the co-host, and we have our beautiful guest Harry. Hi there. How are you?
Hey, holistic health of Harry, not normal person.
Holistic
Just
health.
joking,
It's an
Harry.
official person.
Official.
Got to put the brand name in there. Yep.
How are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad, guys. What a crazy day. So me and Gergios spoke today because we did a data chart reading for me and my partner Kirsty, and he gave a wonderful reading, very scarily accurate, I feel, and even Kirsty felt that because we spoke privately about it afterwards. You said, "Well, that's true, isn't it?" So yeah, that was good. And then we're speaking to you again in some synchronicity because actually, Gergios, I didn't know that. I forgot the date that me and Mitchell were doing it generally, and then I didn't know that we organised this for today, which is the same day as this date. So it all works, isn't it? All crazy.
Yeah, because the Gemini moon right now.
Mm.
So it's all about conversing, studying, learning, listening, but also talking. That's why we have this little show, this interview, because it also reads journalism.
Cool. And we met on the Gemini moon. We met, right?
Yeah, actually, I met Mitch
Mm.
on a Gemini full moon.
Did you? What was the date of that then?
31st of November.
Oh, right. Well, that's coming up. Oh, okay. Oh, interesting. Huh. Gemini moon. And more interesting is that I think you said, Gergios, that me and your relationship mirrors ours, and I believe that's true. There's a lot of mirroring going on with our relationships. Weird, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. Like when I look at the chart, I just keep thinking about me and him because there's a lot of similarities. Like all this stuff going on in the background.
Mm.
Like there's a lot of emotional processing going on, a lot of thinking, a lot of conflict that is happening in the background is not always expressed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, definitely. Yeah, very similar. Don't believe in accidents for that. Jesus, we're all here to learn from each other. So if the kind of mistakes that I've made and will make in my relationship, because I'm used to this stuff, you've already experienced in a way, and you have gone through that process, so you will be able to relate to it. It's crazy.
So, Harry, please introduce yourself and tell us about you and what you do.
Okay, I hate this part, guys. So my name is Harry Batty, real name, brand name, Holistic Health Harry. I'm 34 years old, and I like to think that I'm a holistic health coach. So I'll go all over the place in the name of health. My main focus is physical health, although obviously I'm in the communities where emotional, spiritual, the astrology, just doing things outside of physical health is super important. So I like to think I'm well-rounded. But yeah, my main specialty is free healing modalities. And then now a bit of both. So I do the paid supplements too and affiliate with some good supplements. But yeah, I go all over the place, guys. And I've written books, 8 today. Oh, and today I got my first ever hardback book. Another great day moment. First ever hardback on the latest book. Yeah, man. So yeah, it's all popping off. And God, I'm excited about life. Even making more money so that I can keep doing what I'm doing because my lifestyle. Ain't nobody gonna pay for this shit, man. Like, do you know what I mean? You gotta look after a girlfriend too, so gotta keep making more money, keep focused, and all that shit. So yeah.
That's good. So, about the products that you like to work with, because I know that you're an affiliate for what you believe or feel that is like the best of the best, and you've got a linktree link which is just like goes on forever. You know,
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
So what is some of your favorite things to recommend to people?
Oh, that's such a great question. I mean, I like all the stuff you guys like, definitely. So, you know, I see the salt lamp earlier you had in the background there, essential oils, all this stuff. But I mean, in terms of supplements, the ones that my last book was on the Root. This is a new company that started during COVID. The date was the 20th of the 2nd, 2020, all the twos. The company was founded during COVID when it started. And they've got the best zeolite, in my opinion, and one of the best neurotropics. And the third one's all right. So they got two amazing supplements, and the third's okay. Really powerful company, and they move the needle of health a lot with people that use them, especially people that are unhealthy. Even though I get benefits from them too, but I just notice people are really unhealthy and they get on these products, they get amazing results, and the compensation plans are good, so everyone's rewarded. A lot of money's given out. The people are ethical. That's just one company that I'm affiliated with, but I'm actually one of my main sources of income. So I'm invested financially in it, but it's more than that. I'm emotionally invested with the book and the people, and I just go to the Zoobs. So yeah, that's just one of them. The other one probably is that I loved a lot is the Black Oxygen. Have you guys heard of that one? Black Oxygen.
I've heard of it, yeah. I've never used it.
Right. Well, that's another powerful one. There's a bit of controversy on one side of it, but I'm not doubting the power because when I use the black oxygen. I've got a load in my Tupperware box. When I put it in the drinks and I drink it, I just know the real deal is it slows my breath down a lot. And my poos the next day are like really cool. I poo more and it's just more, I don't know, you can tell in your poos a lot about your health. And whenever I take that, my poos are really cool. So yeah, I love that. I love those two. So I feel like I'm on the best fulvic and the best zeolite. And there's more that I don't even talk about that I've taken quietly. But yeah, there's just so many cool supplements that I'm happy to affiliate with. There's so many cool shit, you know, out there. But those two are probably my favorite ones I've had to nail them.
Right. And what about water? What are your thoughts on water?
Oh, that's a huge subject, guys. Shall we open this can of worms to the people? Okay, well, my favorite water is the free water of urine therapy. And even more than the fresh, I'm a fanatic of aged more than fresh, although I do recognize fresh is what woke me up and it's a brilliant healing modality for whatever health you're at. But yeah, I'm a big fan of aged urine. I think it's the uber super structured water, the aged. And beyond that, the distilled water I'm a fan of. Honestly, I've not bought reverse osmosis. I'm a believer in reverse osmosis. Truly as well, I think Kangen's all right. I'm not going to dish any. I just heard good things about it. The Japanese use it. Yeah, it costs a load of money. True. Might be worth it though. Who knows until you try these things. I mean, even the Berkeley's guys, what do you think of that stuff? The Berkeley's, I don't know. I've not tried them.
Well, there's a little bit of a background noise coming back. Distillers are great. I had one too, which I gave to my mom. So she uses that now, which is great for cooking and drinking. Berkeley, I've never used, don't know about it. Kangen, I have used, and I have friends that have spent hours talking about it and kind of why it's so beneficial. But I think with any product, as you know, if it's considered MLM or if it's expensive, in their subconscious mind, it's a scam.
Yep.
So from what I've seen with Kangen, it removes the pesticides from like the fruits and vegetables that you're cooking or preparing. And it comes from the Okinawan region, so in Japan, which is like the longest rates of living. But yeah, the urine therapy, very interesting. I think for me, I've worked with it more topically or like in an enema, definitely more powerful than water.
Yeah.
For clearing the body. What else? Reverse osmosis, I don't think is very good for hydrating because we used to have one at our old workplace.
Yeah.
And everyone was just, all the staff members were complaining that they were dehydrated all the time. So
really? Oh,
it doesn't
interesting.
have, it doesn't have the ionization which the Kangen would have. And then if you
how about distilled then? This compared to that, distilled the same would have the same problem, no?
Yeah, it would have the same problem, but distilled is much cleaner because you evaporate all of the impurities, which you can then restructure with crystals like shungite or potentially copper, but not too much. And then using an ionization machine, which you can buy, or a jug. So you'd have to ionize the distilled. But with the Kangen, within 1 to 2 minutes, I've seen pesticides come into the water. What it does is it emulsifies the molecular structure of the water. And it uses platinum plate, so it's not toxic metal. But you know, there's so many different modalities and things that we have to experience before we know. Like the water machine we have, it's pretty good, but it just doesn't ionize and it doesn't clean as much as distilled. And then you've got spring water, which is in nature.
Yeah, which is unfair to bash, I feel, truly, because we know that springs, they're outside with the sunlight, so the sunlight structures them. I'm not saying, by the way, they're not got some rocks that maybe get stuck in a body, but I do know that it's structured at least by the sunlight, which is fucking amazing. Nothing beats sunlight in a way, does it? So yeah, I don't know. I don't really vibe with people that are really against natural spring water in the distilled water therapy or urine therapy communities. They go, oh my God, spring water is the worst because it's got inorganic minerals. I hear the argument that it might be true. I'm just not so anti that they are. I don't know, like, but I must say actually as well, I remember drinking spring water once in the Peak District. It was from I don't know how, it was kind of high up. And what I do notice sometimes when it's unhealthy is I'll drink it and it's got full of rocks that I can't assimilate. Is I'll drink it and I'll start sweating. I'll feel really itchy skin. And to me, that's a sign that there's some impermeability. There is some rock formations in that spring water that are my body's trying to get out. And I feel itchy and annoyed. And it's like impure. So I do, sometimes I do think it depends on your source of spring water. It has maybe a high TDS, like I don't know, loads of rocks. Maybe it is unhealthier than, say, a spring water that has a low rock formation or whatever, more pure. So I don't know.
Right. And then you've got fruit juice, which is just a very simple way to hydrate the body and also detoxify the body, right?
Yeah, fruits and vegetable juices, amazing. Yeah. Oh God, yeah, that's structured too by the sunlight, isn't it? Yeah, the fruit juices. You can't argue with that. Although you can argue with it because some people say that fruits aren't good for you. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think, George?
Well, I guess if they say that fruits are good for you, I guess they just haven't tried it.
But have you guys heard that? I mean, even my partner, she might watch this. It says, I don't know, I don't understand it personally, but she says that when she eats fruits by themselves, she gets bloating. And people, I've told this to other people, and they said she's not gone through it, and long enough, if she carried on, it would stop. Maybe, or maybe there's some validity that some people can't handle fruits. I don't know. They do get bloating and weird stuff in their tummy from it. I don't know.
Do you know what kind of fruits that she's eating to cause the bloating?
No, I don't. But I know. I think I've asked her that it's the first thing she eats. So I've made sure that, and it's if she does that, and it's the first thing she eats, the only thing she eats, she still gets the bloaty
That's
feeling,
interesting.
which is interesting. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Like,
Maybe the only thing I can think of is an unripe fruit, or she might just have a sensitivity to the fruit itself.
right, and it's nothing
Well,
to
I
do with
used to be
possibly being
very
toxic.
well.
Does anything to do with toxicity? Like,
Yeah, because I was
Yeah.
vegetarian for 3 years,
Mm.
and I had bloating the first year.
first
And it-
year.
Yeah,
Whoa, that's a long time to have it.
first year.
Yeah.
It stopped after I did a 50-day grape juice fast.
Right.
After that, I digested fruit so quickly, I didn't even notice it's in my body. Just completely went through like nothing. So that
Right.
just showed me that it's really just plaque on the intestinal wall. And the small intestines is where the gas comes from.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the small intestines is where it gets absorbed by these very, very thin hairs
Mm.
there. It's not really absorbed into the body directly, but it's being broken down energetically through field interactions. It's almost like an electric charge the body produces. And if there's plaque there, there's simply no charge. So there's no fire. The fruit bloats, unlike other foods, which are actually more difficult to digest, because the fruit needs to break down extremely quickly because it ferments very quickly, because it breaks down in itself through bacteria. So your body needs to be faster than the bacteria. It's like a race.
Right.
The body loses the race.
Yeah.
It will.
Oh, so if your body's too slow because your detox pathways are shut down in a way, you're just toxic. You're gonna struggle with that fermentation process, which causes bloating. Is that what you're saying? Something like that. Oh,
Yes.
that's interesting. It took you that long. It took you 1 year of just fruit and before you fixed yourself in that way. Wow.
Yeah, first I did 6 months on date diet, mono dates. After that, I started eating other fruits like oranges, bananas, berries. And I didn't have too many problems with berries or grapes, but I had a lot of problems with melons and bananas. And with bananas, it's because bananas have some starch content.
Yeah.
Even if you get them really ripe, they still, for some reason, they cause fermentation with people because they're very dense. They're very sticky.
Stodgy, innit? Yeah.
The melons create problems for some people, like the melon belly, which we'll talk about.
Yeah.
Because the melons, they digest so ridiculously quickly, like your body really needs to be very fast in absorbing it.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
very, very fast.
Yeah.
And also, I noticed this, like even after I clean out, if I eat something bad, one day, for example, some cooked food with fats and starches, and then the next day, the melon, I also get the melon belly, because the food from the last day, or the last meal you simply ate, there's a thing called the second meal effect. The second meal effect means that whatever meal you ate previously will affect the next meal.
Even if there's a huge gap, like 24 hours between the one of the two.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even then.
Yeah. Especially oils and fats. Like to mix fruits, like if you've had oils, it's not good for fermentation.
Oh God. So I'm strongly resonating with what you said there. Maybe because we talked about this earlier, Gergios. I want to help her, but I also don't want to help her. But then if she asks for help in certain things, then I do want to help her. Then I think I resonate with what you said, and maybe we have to try and fix this
Yeah,
not
like
being able to eat fruits issue. Shit.
yeah, she may feel like you know, she has this relationship with you, but she may feel restricted if you try to tell her what to do.
Mm.
She may be reminded of old traumas where other people were trying to control her actions, perhaps.
Yeah, and also diet is a touchy subject. It's hard to change people's diets, even if you love them. It's a very it's like an addiction. You know, it's a hard one to change, to
Yeah,
help other people to change.
especially if you have like Mars and Virgo, like she has.
Mm.
They pride themselves in their intellect,
We have that too.
and they like to think
Yeah.
that they know everything.
Yeah.
So it's even more difficult, yeah.
Oh, so
both
you
have
and you and Kirsty Georgios have the same one, isn't it, for that?
Yeah, and Mitch as
Yeah.
well. We
Oh,
all
all
have
three of
Mars
you.
and Virgo.
Oh yeah. So yeah, there's a pride. Oh, I can feel it with her. There's a pride in what she knows. Yeah, it triggers you.
It's like
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
attachment, we have to know what we know. We
Mm.
have to think we know it. Otherwise, we have a problem. So even when we don't know, even when we are in ignorance of something, we'll have to think that it is right what we are doing. Otherwise, we're really uncomfortable.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah, this is
It's-
hard. Yeah. And it's my
Uh,
first relationship as well. So I've got lots. I've taken on a lot. Take
yeah,
on other
I would
person.
advise not to try.
No, I don't
to-
think I'll go to. I'll just leave her to do it. Leave her to eat what she wants. In a way.
I think the juices might be better in that sense than with the
Mm.
the fibers are causing fermentation. Like because you haven't said exactly what fruits it is,
Mm.
I would definitely say fruit juice is a better option.
Yeah, she
And
does the
like-
fruit juices, and we do the ginger. I always encourage. If I'll always get the ginger juice, and she'll copy me. So yeah, the ginger, the fruit juices, she'll take. Sometimes she'll say she can't take it. But yeah, with the fruit juices, we're big on the vegetable juices.
drinking flower essence.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what do you know about the flower essences? Did you try them?
Oh, great question. Truthfully, oh,
Mhm.
let me see. I know that it's really powerful. I don't even know why it works. I haven't even tried it, truthfully, guys, yet. But I've just heard that. Is it like homeopathy a little bit of flowers?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not qualified in this subject anyway, but
Mm.
from my experience and speaking with people who are with flower essences, that is, the flowers work with the chakras, kind of like essential oils, whereas they can help dig into the meridians of the physical body or the spiritual body and help release trauma or release blockages within the body or the mind that perceive something. It's like I've got one here, purifying. See?
Yeah.
And this bottle alone, this is clearing built up emotional baggage. 7 drops under the tongue. It's got vibrational infusion of.
Does it have a specific? Is it just one flower? Does it tell you which flower, or is it just a purifying?
Different flowers.
Yeah, I'm just about to read them out. So it's
Yep.
this vibrational infusion of bohemia, bottle brush, bush iris, dagger hakia, dog rose, and wild potato bush. And it's got some brandy in there as well. But like all these blends have got like 5 to 7 different of them. So I'm working with so many of them.
Yeah.
And so far, like I've noticed a difference for sure, like
Mm.
with energy clearing for sure. Like because I'm working with so many of them.
Yeah.
So I love those. They're really, really powerful.
They're very good for clearing entities as well.
Oh right, yeah. Yeah.
Like for example, if you have like showing the clearing spray,
Yeah, space
Mm.
clearing, this one's called.
Oh,
if you have
nice. Yeah.
a bottle in which you put the flower essences
Mm.
and spray it together with water around, if you feel there's a portal somewhere where dark entities are coming in
Mm.
or parasites, you can pretty much get rid of that by spraying. It's here's the negative energy. It's
Yeah.
very good for people who absorb a lot of negativity, so they can spray around, get rid of it.
Right. We just don't want someone spraying it 24/7, getting paranoid and saying, "Oh fuck, there's entities everywhere, so I can't control my life."
Yeah,
and using up
exactly.
spray bottles every day. Like, don't want to go too. But
Yeah.
yes. By the way, so when you say essence, do you know the process? Is it like homeopathy? Is it what are they doing with it? What are they doing with the flower to make that? I don't understand fully what they're doing.
They're extracting the flower with the brandy, so it's more potent, like because we were discussing earlier with alcohol being very potent for herbal extractions.
Mm.
Because alcohol itself is like a spirit, right? So when you work with that spirit to extract plants. I think it's more potent in some situations, and that's why you can also get them in like red shiso leaf, which is like I believe it's the Japanese leaf. It's very calming if you have like an alcohol sensitivity or if someone has an alcohol addiction. Then they would work with the essence of the shiso instead of the alcohol. But that's pretty much it. I mean, it's just a soaking extraction method from my understanding.
So like a concentrated part of the flower, like the best of the flower, the essence, there we go. It's in the word, isn't it? The essence of the flower.
This one is the whole flower. I think some of them, it's like with dandelion, you work with the leaf or the root or the, with the nettle. It just depends on what you're working with. Yeah, this one is abundance.
How long do the bottles last?
Let's see. These are the Australian ones, by the way. I would say, I mean, anywhere from 1 to 3 months. It depends how much you use them.
Nice. I was thinking out of my mind. Yeah, that's all right then. And they don't cost much, do they? They'll be about, I guess, 80, 100 euros, something like that. Maybe a little less.
No, not that much.
Much less than that, is it? Oh,
Very cheap.
They're really cost effective. Usually, the emotional blends will cost anywhere between, I think it depends, but varies from about 10 to 20 pounds.
Oh, wow. Okay, I should get some of those. I've always wanted to experiment with them. I don't know what I've been waiting for.
Yeah.
I should get some.
These are on the dispensary. If you're interested, just go to naturaldispensary.co.uk.
Yeah, and use your code in it. I will do.
Yeah, OSB 15% off.
Yeah, we'll do that, man. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. There's so many cool therapies that I've learned since I came into the communities that I think I've heard of most of them. Sometimes something comes along that surprised me. For example, I remember this year in January, weighted blankets, weighted to sleep. I'd never heard of that before. Then I saw a post on it. I was like, I've got to buy one of those. So I bought a weighted blanket. And my dad's since taken it out of the room. I might need to rebuy it. But when I was using it and had it, it was amazing to have this weight on your body when you slept. Like pressure. They said it gives you oxytocin. But anyway, yeah, there's just loads of things that I've learned since I've become a community. I'm one of these people, probably like you guys. I'm like, oh, I hear something new. I'm like, oh yeah, don't shut myself off. Try it, buy it. Yeah, get involved in that and keep exploring. Because that's what got me to the position I'm in now. Like, I'm very grateful. I've just always tried things, and I love health, holistic health. So yeah.
Do you have a grounding mat as well?
Yeah, so I do. It's with a girlfriend at the moment because funny enough, I've lived with my parents temporarily. I'm sure you guys can relate. Parents are just fucking ridiculous. They have to make demands, and because I stick the rod, you see, outside of the garden. My dad's like, oh, you can't have the rod outside the garden because it's too healthy. It can't have it's my garden, so it's controlled. So I've got it with a girlfriend, but it's amazing. Yeah, you stick a grounding rod in the ground, and I've got a double one, so me and her can ground on wristbands or waistbands, two of us at the same time with the same connection. Yeah, grounding's a amazing free therapy that we should all be doing a little bit every day, right? A little bit helps.
Yeah, I did some yesterday.
Yeah, and it carries over, guys, as well. I've noticed when you do it, like, it seems to stay, depending how clean your body is, it will stay for at least 20, 24 hours, the ions from that session. Now, if you overeat or do some stupid shit, it's gonna last less. But if they last these. So like you said yesterday, probably it's inside your body now, the medicine. Right.
Yeah, it's supposed to be very good for connecting to Mother Nature and.
Yeah, I think so. For me, it rebalances my brain because my brain is like fucked. It's all over the place. But when I go on that, I feel more centered, balanced, more inside my body. It's really cool.
Yeah, that's why I also use crystals, like the petrified wood sphere, for example.
Is that
very good.
Wait, is that? Did you say petrified wood? What's that?
Yeah,
I've heard of that.
That's very grounding, that one.
Right. Yeah, I bet they are grounded. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very dense, very heavy energy. So you touch it, you absorb it.
Right. Yeah.
Because it's nature. It's the earth spirit's bones, crystals.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's why I wear. I've got crystal rings on me. I normally have the things too. I'm a huge fan of crystals. My God, and on the body is the best to me. I mean, I like to have it in my vicinity. But if I'm wearing it or touching it, then I get it straight into the system. I'm like, yeah, it grounds you like you wouldn't believe. Really powerful. They're the same to me in a word. Crystals and grounding are the same. Negative ions into the system is how I look at it from my simple brain. Like, dump yourself with negative.
Yeah, absolutely. It's also for protection. Like we have these wristbands,
Yeah.
crystals, like this year. What is it again called?
Is that serpentine?
No, this one is dragon's blood. I have
Dragon's blood.
Dragon's
Yeah.
blood. Nice.
Yeah, and
So-
pyrite.
Presumably, it's good for cleansing the blood.
Yeah.
Yeah. bet you it
This
is.
is pyrite.
Mm.
This is magnetic. Like this is actually one of the few stones which magnetically draws things into it.
Yeah.
So it's also good as a defense against entities and negative energy.
Yeah.
And one of the best crystals for protection, like one of the very best.
Yeah.
Is this here.
Is that black tourmaline?
It's black tourmaline, yeah.
Love it. Yeah, I love black tourmaline. Hell yeah.
This absorbs it's like a motherfucker, like it just absorbs everything.
Yeah.
You know, it's black. The black, you know, has nothing to do with darkness, but actually absorbing darkness into it.
Yeah. And
Because it's
EMF
magnetic
protection.
noise.
One of the best EMF protectors, isn't it? Black tourmaline.
Yeah.
Really cool. Yeah. Oh god, yeah. I love crystals. And they're cheap, affordable, and well, do you know what? This is what sometimes I get triggered when I hear it. Sometimes people will say, oh, but crystals are of the earth and we should not remove them because it damages the earth. But I feel like they're tools because we're struggling. I mean, us humans, we're doing good, but we're in a spiritual, physical war right now. So we have to use every single tool, whether that be technologies that man has made, which goes against nature, if you want to say one way, some people say it, or nature, like dig them up the ground for our defense, because we're the ones that are under attack. Like, I mean, the earth is true. So I don't resonate with the idea that, oh, don't touch the crystals, don't dig them up. Do you know what I mean? I get it. Like, you don't want to undersell them and have there's dodgy stuff going on, but I think we should use all the tools available to us, and crystals must be a huge part of that, because unless we go to that location, but we can't even go now with COVID. We can't even go to the locations where the fucking crystals are, because we're not allowed to travel, are we? We have to have a fucking vaccine or a PCR test. So what's the other thing? Just use the crystals.
Yeah. It's the earth spirit's bones, like I said before. And it wants us to use them.
Yeah.
Because it's earth element. Earth element wants to be useful. It needs to be used as a tool.
Yeah.
So that's, if you use it, you honor it. It wants you to use them.
Oh, I like that. So they want to be dug up and for us to use
They
them.
want to be used because then they can fulfill their purpose.
Oh my God, that's in synergy and synchro with what Adam told me today. I told you I interviewed Adam Lewington about the Amanita muscaria. And he said that the Amanita muscaria wants us to eat them because he's been saying, even in Lithuania, he's in Lithuania, and the Lithuanians, a lot of them don't even know about the power of it. They literally see it. There's abundant over there. The Amanita muscaria. What they'll do is they'll kick it. They think it's a shitty thing. They'll kick it in the ground. And that's the spirit of the Amanitas wants us to eat it and not kick it, and eat it and go and honor it and say, this, please help me, give me some answers to my spiritual growth. And what we're doing is we're dishonoring it. So yeah, I resonate with that. Like all these things want us to use them. And so it's silly to say, oh, but don't dig it up out of the ground because it's not natural. And yeah, do you know what I mean?
It's a nice topic because my friend who we had as a guest, Morag, she teaches crystal courses, and she's gone around the world to actually teach crystals. One important thing she said to me was to provide healing for the crystal and give thanks to the crystal, because so much of us, as you said, are using them as tools, but also it's what we can give to the crystal. Because when you heal the crystal, or when you send healing energy or love to the crystal, it heals where the crystal came from. So you're raising the vibrational frequency of where the crystal originally comes from as well.
Right.
The problem is at the moment is that you've got these warehouses that are over extracting the crystals and they're smashing away for the sake of making money. So it's all to do with the intention and how we can benefit from the crystals, but also benefit the crystals and the earth, because that's like the name that I channeled from Spirit as Crystal Grid Keeper is exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, Crystal Grid Keeper you are, yeah.
Yeah, well, we all are. If we work with the energy of crystals, it's to bring the energy of crystals to the rest of the earth, and exactly as you said, in places that may be of lower vibration, like a Babylon.
What if, and by the way, I'm new to Scooby, so I don't know, what I challenge you and say that even a damaged crystal has a high vibrational frequency than even a high vibration us. And actually, we don't need to, what happens if it's maybe a waste to heal them when actually even their lowest frequency that's been scarred, they still have more energy in them than us, that we're more fucked up, even if we're, working ourselves. What if that's the case? I don't know.
I like what you say, but I don't think we're fucked up. It's often when we perceive ourselves as always damaged or we need healing, it's kind of like this shadow of trauma that hasn't really been processed. Because we are crystalline, we don't need any crystals. Truthfully, we're made of pure crystal, and that's like until we know that we're pure crystal, like pure crystal light, then there can be a problem with attachment to any tool.
Sure, but what I'm saying is, like, I feel, and I hear what you're saying too. I feel like even the ones that have been dug up and are like really cheap, and they've not been looked after. When I hold them, and I'm guilty of buying them just as the next man because they're cheap. I feel like I get benefits. The cost plus is over the cost negative. I can feel the difference. Take it. So it reminds me that the power of this seems to be more than me at this moment in time. Even though I don't judge myself, I'm on a journey of healing. I'm not fucked up. I'm just healing myself or whatever. I feel that even the worst of the worst is doing something to me. And if it was really traumatized, then if I held it, I guess it wouldn't do anything because my frequency would be higher than the crystal. So I wouldn't feel anything, would I? I only feel something if it's higher energy than me. I don't know though. Truth.
Yeah, I think crystals break for a reason. So if you have like a piece of a shard that's fragmented, then it will emit a different kind of frequency, right? I think like with a tower or an obelisk versus a sphere, the sphere will be more calming and balancing to the environment, but the tower, like that. These ones are more focused for like Reiki or healing.
That's a selenite, is it? Selenite? One of those. No.
This is Haoe. Actually, I'm showing you this because you are speaking about breaking. One of these broke for me. And this is the only crystal that broke for me. It's because when we first got this crystal, I didn't like this crystal.
Right.
I didn't like it. And a few weeks later, it broke. It's the only crystal that broke. It's the only crystal I don't like. So it's very interesting.
Coincidence.
It's like if you don't like an object you have, you're taking away its purpose. Because the purpose is tied to you. You got that crystal into your home. Now you have stewardship over that item. So that item needs to be used by you. If it's just laying around without any purpose, just like clutter, then it's an imbalance.
Yeah, exactly. Oh God, yeah. They love it, the crystals, I'm sure. Their energies and their intelligence loves it when you're actually using them purposely, and they can resonate. We're really getting benefits from them because we're on our missions, and they're helping our missions, the crystals, to grow, for sure.
It's interesting though, because with the resistance of working with like specific flowers or essential oils or crystals, is that usually there's something in the energy that we need to deal with within ourselves. This is a clear quartz, by the way.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, clear. Yeah.
So this is supposed to help with the crown chakra. It's considered like a very light energy crystal. It's also very good for amplifying. So it will actually amplify all kinds of energy, whatever it is. So it's quite intense to have.
You guys put it on your body. I've done that. I need to get back on that. When you lie down at bed and you're asleep or meditating, and you just put each one on the chakra. That's quite fun.
Sometimes.
Yeah. You could even, I guess, the ancients would have put them around their thing, like Cleopatra and stuff, in it, like tied on. Yeah, that looks good. What a ideal.
Trying to kill me now. Oh.
Hey, should we transition to? I do want to talk a little bit about the sexual energy of medicine. Taoism. What's your opinions, guys, on? What's your opinions on? Because you're in a partnership. I mean, you don't have to say, but what's your opinion on semen retention, internal orgasms, or ejaculation? What's your opinion on all that stuff? Like, what? You don't have to say though. I'll give you mine.
Well, I go first.
Well, he has a lot of experience with retaining for a long period, so
I've done semen retention, I think, for almost 2 years now. I've done the longest, like 6 to 9 months, and I experimented by purposefully, intentionally coming a few times to see how it would affect me, because I can't just blindly follow something and just, without having the full information of what it really is, what I'm doing. So I noticed you can do internal ejaculations, of course. It's just more difficult, but if you can do it, you basically get the same satisfaction you would normally get. The thing about releasing is that it moves energy in the body. And if you have enough energy accumulated over time,
Mm.
like you recirculate the energy by just not releasing, basically. You don't have to do anything, just don't release.
Mm.
And then when you do intentionally want to release, you can feel the energy coming out through your skin, like your whole body. It's like a lipid substance, right? Because semen is made of lipid. And for women, they have something as well, because actually they are also releasing lipids when they are releasing, because their own lipids are facilitating the coming in of the semen to make it easier. Yeah. So that's why they have it too. And well, if you retent, I didn't personally notice like an increased energy too much. I definitely notice, however, if I release a lot, that it can negatively affect my hormones. But if I release only like a little bit, then it's fine for me personally. Yeah.
And you're young, aren't you, Gergios? How old are you again? You're 20s, I think.
Yeah, I'm 26.
26. Okay, good to know. Cool.
He's 28.
28. So you're both young. Yeah. Well, I resonate with that. Mitchell, do you want to say something? Are you on the same lines or that line of thinking?
I've never retained for like 9 months. I think the most I ever went was like 2 months, which is I could go longer, but it just happened naturally, or it was a mistake, so to speak. I definitely notice that if I release, then I mean, in terms of a loss of passion or creativity or depression, I don't really get that, what people talk about. I might feel weakened in terms of physical exercise, with like working out, because I know Muhammad Ali used to definitely retain, and he would eat people and fast as well. So there's definitely something there. So I would never discredit retaining. It's just not something I have a lot of experience with for long durations. Because it's cheap. If your semen can help provide birth, give a baby into this world, then it's obviously very powerful, and it's not to be wasted, so to speak. So I think it depends on the person's individual goals. What I also see though is like with the no fap thing, there's a lot of fear and shame around sexual intimacy or masturbation, which is a big problem.
Yes,
because it's
great.
not the same. It's not the same as pornography, really. If you have physical intimacy or contact, and you can even do that while you're retaining, right? That's what tantra is.
Yeah. Oh, that's huge what you just said there. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, I agree 100%. So I'm coming to see. I've been a bit like Gergios, so I go hardcore sometimes. So I don't think I've done. I mean, if it wasn't for wet dreams, I'd go on mega runs. That's the only thing that's broken. But anyway, I've been to Semen Retention 2.5 years, and the thing is, I think I agree with George, what you said, Gergios. Like I was doing it too much up to I'm 34 now. Up to 32, I was doing it once every few days, and especially in my 30s and my late 20s, that's too much because I felt. Not at the time, I didn't realize, but what I was doing by masturbating at least once every other day was draining myself of energy. So I do think there is such thing to what the Taoists say is too much, and especially as you get older. And I wasn't young in my late 20s, early 30s. Anyway, so when I started 2.5 years ago and I did a 7-day run at 32, that was a huge difference and a shock from once every other day. The energy difference was huge, which made me obsessed with it. And since then, I just quit porn forever. I'm not saying porn's bad, by the way. I'm not as hardcore as I was, but I did quit porn forever, 2019. And since then, I'm starting to go around to the idea now about the Taoist solo cultivation, what you said, Mitchell, about the practicing masturbation. I think that's what the Taoists promoted, with the express aim of internal ejaculation. So you practice masturbation to a point of no return, getting close to orgasm, ejaculation without going there, and then practicing perineum pumps and abdominal breathing to send the energy back around your body. And maybe for 15, 20 minutes, you just manually get close, but don't do it. Get close, but don't do it. Get close, but don't do it. And yeah, I think that's a definite legit path. I'm literally, it's weird. I'm on day 1. I practiced it last night, and I've been dead against masturbation. Oh, even up to very recently, and I think it's completely wrong. I've really changed my mind on it. I get it now. But anyway, I was doing it last night, and I even just gave in. I'll just share with you guys, and I thought, fuck it. I've done this for 15 minutes, the point of no return, close as I could. I just want to ejaculate. I thought, fuck it, man. I did, and it was the best ejaculation I've ever had, though. It wasn't a 5 second. It was like 2 minutes of like, I was like, oh yeah. really fun. So what I'm thinking is, I don't even think ejaculation's a bad thing. Like, truly, I don't think ejaculation's bad. If you practice this point of no return for a bit before, you can make ejaculation more fun, you know.
Yeah.
And then I eventually want to practice without ejaculation. So I'll get to the point of no return, and then I think I'm going to start having some. I'm going to have some interesting things to report on my Facebook in the next couple of months, which is going to help the partner, because at the moment I'm truthfully not lasting very long before ejaculation, which doesn't benefit her. You know, she gets excited.
That's the thing about
Yeah.
semen retention.
Yeah. What happens
Come
is,
so quickly, it's ridiculous. Like,
yes, you do, because you built it
you
up.
can basically you
Yeah.
can try for 5 seconds and you come.
Yeah.
That's basically it, yeah.
It doesn't take a lot of arousal from her part to me, and all of a sudden I'm doing it. And especially when a woman orgasms, or your partner orgasms, and they put that face on and they're in the mood, it kind of makes you want to orgasm too. So my key now, I'm taking it very seriously in my mind. So I'm day one practice. I'm just going to solo cultivate and masturbate by myself every day, and see what I can do with this. See what I do with the eternal orgasm, because I want to have a whole body. I want to be coaching whole body orgasms. I want to have, for my partner and for me. I just want to. I really strongly believe the Taoists have something going on with, the older you get as a man, the less frequently you should ejaculate. It's not the end of the world. Don't judge yourself. Wet dreams aren't the end of the world either. But yeah, just do it less frequently, and you can have better satisfaction as a guy with orgasming when you really do circulate it. Keep your energy channels free with all the works that we do, whether it's essential oils, flower essence, urine therapy. Keep the body clean, and then you can have some more fun in there than just a 2-second fob and depression that I used to have a lot of.
I think it's like with life and duality, non-duality, is to learn to better yourself spiritually, but not become obsessed, because there's like too much of anything is not good. It's like if you drink too much water, it's not good.
Yeah.
It's finding your balance for you and what kind of lifestyle you want to live, or you and your partner want to live, and just honoring and respecting it. I think it's really about balance. George, what did you read in the Matrix Gold? Is it Gold 5 edition? This is very interesting, because he was, as you know, retaining for like a year.
Yeah.
He found something in the book that was somewhat
that made him change his mind. Yeah, go for it.
It didn't change my mind first, but I had some doubts about semen retention, because in my own experience, I noticed that when I first overcame the guilt that I had from coming, basically just detached from that, I noticed after a while of retenting and then ejaculating, but I didn't lose any energy. I actually just felt fine. And then I wondered, well, is this real then? I mean, what's going on?
Yeah.
Why do I feel fine? like absolutely fine. And the thing was, I read in this book, it's called the Matrix 5 Gold Edition, that retention is actually very much like religion. You know, it's about restricting you, tabooing an activity that you would normally do, where in nature you would never think about retenting. I mean, there's absolutely nothing that would ever give you a clue about doing that.
Yeah.
Like nothing. So it's just something that people have created, and then people retent because they want the benefits, right? But I've done it like for over 9 months, and to be honest with you, other than getting extremely ridiculously horny, and feeling a lot of
were you together when this happened, when you was doing semen retention? That must have been
the first 6 months we weren't, but the last 3 months we were.
Right.
And so at the point I was 9 months we were together, and I kept retenting. But anyways, you don't really lose energy, but you lose your horniness if you come. And the thing is, and that is the most interesting thing, and kind of like the greatest evidence I discovered, is that when you come, you don't only release semen, you release other things as well. You release mucus, you release obstructions.
Do you?
For example, if you eat poorly, your semen turns yellow sometimes, not always.
Really?
Sometimes it will be yellow,
Pus. Wow, yeah.
There's literally pus coming out of your sausage.
Oh, are you speaking from what you've learned from other people, or you've had this yourself? or other
Yeah,
people
I
told
had
you?
this myself.
Yeah,
Mitch had
I've
this.
had that too with eating. I mean, for me though, with retaining, it makes fasting much easier. That's what I found. Like if I had released, I'll be like, oh, I want to have something to eat, which I don't like
Yeah, I know what
particularly.
you mean.
And
Yeah.
I'm in the process of kind of wanting to get into muscle training and strengthening the body. So like I'm on my own journey of working towards retaining, but we'll see how that goes on time.
So yeah, I hear both those points, and God, this is challenging for me too in a way. But I definitely think there's an argument for testosterone being lost at each ejaculation. We're linked in with what you said, Mitchell, because I can do when I'm on a run and when I've had a wet dream on that day, I always struggle with the exercise as much. But when I'm on a run, I can always do more because my testosterone, which is actually linked in with what Gergios said, because your horniness, your testosterone is your horniness. It goes up a lot with semen retention, so you get more horny.
Because your body
Like-
tries to make you have sex.
Yeah,
So then it will release hormones that help you do that. It's very natural, of course.
yeah, exactly. I read something interesting in this book that's really inspired me, The Multi-Orgasmic Couple. It said, I've only just started it, but already I found something I never knew before. Oh yeah, what's that one? Oh, sexuality. I need some more of that.
It's just about blend is enjoying and fully expressing your sexuality. So
Oh,
it helps
nice.
with sexual trauma as well because it'll work on the lower chakras. I also believe though, like if someone has experienced sexual trauma, any kind, then they may be inclined to have more sex than an average person, for example, or they have fear of intimacy. It just goes both ways. It can be this life or past life. Yeah, I've witnessed that as well, experienced that.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, in a way, my parents sexually repressed. So I got obsessed with the pickup community and picking up girls and thinking about sleeping with loads of girls. Not they ever did it, but I definitely wanted to at one part of my life. Before I got into this community, I was like, oh yeah, I'll fix myself. I sleep with loads of girls. And that was because of sexual repression by my parents to kind of scary levels of sexual repression, like really weird shit because of their culture. But yeah, so that definitely resonate with that.
The interesting thing about these flower essences is, if you take a flower essence like abundance, for example, it will help you to remove blockages that make you non-receptive to abundance. So it will simply change your hormones perspective. So emotions become changed the most with these essences. It's all about giving the body information that it can use to change the mind.
Yeah, not just about the physical, like the emotional, the hormones, I know what you mean, the blockages, the emotional blockages between even opening up with your partner, all these issues that we have, being vulnerable and all this stuff. Yeah, I reckon it would help, definitely.
Yes.
But yeah. Oh, wait, back to this book as well. So there was issue. I don't know if you guys have heard of this, but a lot of I don't know if you experienced it because we're all guys here. It was saying here that I didn't, but a lot of boys masturbate before 13. You know that we only produce semen at the age of 12, 13, right? It's only at that age, I think, for every boy. But when a boy masturbates at age 8, 9, 10, 11, and there's no semen, you're basically orgasming internally. And often the book says, I didn't, because the first time I masturbated, I seem to remember having semen come out at 13 or 12. Did you guys do that? Have you heard of this? That
Yes.
you have? Yeah.
Yeah, I did that. My first ejaculating was at age 8.
Oh wow! How did it feel to do that? Did it feel different to
when I
normal?
did that at age 8, it was 100% an internal orgasm.
Yeah, was it?
Definitely internal because
the
only thing that came out was a white fat like lipid substance, but not white like semen.
No semen.
Transparent.
Yeah, because you don't produce semen until 13. And where did you orgasm? What was it? Was it?
Fluid.
What did it feel like? Was it in the brain and your body, whole body?
The brain.
The brain.
But also in the legs and feet.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's
for
mad.
sure. Yeah, I had it with 8. I was premature, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, that's amazing. Then I wonder how common it is. I just feel like maybe I'm the only guy that's waited, and maybe most guys masturbate before semen and they have all these internal orgasms, which gives me hope, because then if people remember that they've done it before, they can also do it after with practice, if they can connect the dots. If you've done it
Yeah.
once before as an 8-year-old, you can somehow figure a way to do that again. As a,
There's another way, like if you don't know how to do it, there's a way you can try, but it's quite easy to do. If you come, you can hold with your hands. You can press against,
against the penis, or you talk about the $1 million point. There's a $1 million. Yeah.
Against the point you can press.
Yeah.
And some will not come out, it will go back in.
Yeah, I've heard of that. The $1 million point, and even there's some parts of the penis, the base and the top, the head. Yeah, definitely works that way. Yeah,
So
that's a good one.
the orgasm will go back in, you will still get the same result, and much less will come out. Yeah.
Yeah, that's powerful. That's a Taoist. I think that's a Taoist secret, isn't it? You just named there.
Yeah, and the other thing, what you call before coming, the point before coming, it's called edging.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, you're edging. It's like edging a knife. It's like you're making it sharp.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. It's edging. And so I read this book, and this makes sense. Like 0 is non-arousal, just normal. 10 is ejaculation. To get to the point of no return, they say you've got to be a 9.8, which is very, 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 very close to ejaculation without being ejaculation. And that's where the real multi-orgasms, internal orgasms come. So in other words, if you go to an 8 out of 10, that's not going to do it. You need to get really close, and that takes practice. You need to learn to get really close. And also another thing, being new at this, it's very tempting, like I did last night, to go over the edge on purpose, because you think, fuck it, I can't be asked anymore. Do you know what I mean? It's a real discipline not to go over the edge, to get so close, because you don't know what it feels like yet to get to that close of you know what I mean? You need the reference. It's so hard, because we just want to do the easy thing sometimes, even me and you guys. I just want to just like, oh, fuck it. Just want to ejaculate,
Because at some point you get wise enough to know it's not really that important, right?
Yeah, and you need to know that there's a better way, but you haven't had the references yet of the internal orgasm. So you're like, oh, I'm so close to this. Oh, I'm just fuck it. I'm just going to go over the edge. Can't be bothered. Just let it go, like I did last night. But me going ejaculating consciously last night was really cool, because I'd put in a lot of work beforehand, and I had this amazing, the most epic ejaculation I had last night of my life, actually, ever. I've never had an ejaculation like I had last night. It was a real pleasure for about a minute. I'm not going to exaggerate. It was a minute, but it was really like I know what a woman's one is, and it was very similar to a woman's one, clitoral orgasm, when it just like really enjoying the moment after. It was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can visualize becoming a millionaire when you do that. Maybe it will work.
Oh, I'm taking it very seriously, because I feel I'm going to teach other guys how to do it if they want it. So yeah. What was that one, by the way? What essence?
Well, these are abundance and sexuality. So
oh, nice.
Work with these.
Yeah, the funny thing is, once we got these tinctures, I took the abundance tincture and I was thinking, I wonder if this is going to work.
Yeah.
Something was telling me, I think it is. And then at the end of the day, I got a client and just got another 90 euros. So.
Oh, nice. Oh, so it works like that. Yeah. So it gives you signs. You take it, but then it's like.
It's like, it works with the mind, like I said before.
Yeah.
So you start to believe that you get more abundant when you take it.
Yeah. Oh, I love stuff like that, because I know we're doing work emotionally with affirmations, visualizations, and all this stuff. But if you can use tools like that to help you, then fuck me, I would do it.
Because the physical body catches up with the mind head, thanks to this essence.
This is good for the throat chakra. So expression is both verbal and written.
You took this like 5 times today.
I know, I'm getting.
Oh well, you guys don't struggle, nor do I, with expression and talking, do we? No one struggles here with like.
No, it's a bonus.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But yeah. Yeah. What else should we talk about? I mean, we could go all over the place. I don't mind. Truly. I'm like, oh yeah, I just get to talk. It's fun. Let's speak actually. Okay, so we covered water a little bit. Should we go down the diet route, or we done that a little bit with the fruits?
We can go the diet a little bit more, I guess, with the food. Yeah. I mean, both of us have Mars and Virgo, so we kind of delved into the learning about pretty much everything in terms of nutrition. Like I've tried every diet on the planet, There's nothing I haven't tried because I had to for my own experiences, and so I can speak from experience. What I find the best for humans is fruits and fruit juice, and then transition to nothing. If that's your path, I think less is more. It's just for me, like whenever I eat foods, it just lowers my frequency. My Taurus moon loves food, but my body doesn't like it as much, which is a bit of a catch-22.
Oh, your mind loves it, but your body doesn't. I see. There's a
Right.
yeah.
So I'm probably just going to be living on flower essences in a few years and nothing else. Who knows?
You're living on prana, becoming breatharianism. Do you think, by the way, do you think breatharianism? Oh, that's a good question. Interesting topic. Do you think breatharianism was possible, is possible?
Yeah, I think it is and was. I think it was definitely more doable when people were born in nature and grounding their feet. Like, living on a beach, for me, that's so much more attractive than being in a confined concrete space and just being like, oh, I'm just going to fast and, I'm in nirvana. It's.
I used to do that. I was in Nirvana.
Well, dry fast. When I did a dry fast a while ago, I could see auras in the air, so it's definitely something to it.
Whoa.
Like,
Yeah.
it's
Like you can be in a prison cell. Oh, I'm just gonna dry fast, and you're going into heaven.
I wouldn't eat the food in prison, so I definitely dry fast.
Yeah. Have you guys read Hilton and Amos' Man's Higher Consciousness? That's a great book. That I used to have it, but there's one thing in it. He said that I'll never forget. He said that everybody that does fasting, even for only 16, 20 hours, like a water or a dry fast for such a short period of time, when you get more energy, like 16 hours into a dry fast, which is nothing really, you're like, you already know in your mind, you get this more power than if you were eating any food, even fruits. So that convinces you, your experience, and it starts to put a seed in your mind. You know what? Sometimes no food is better than any food, even fruits, which are okay. You know what I mean? That tells me a lot. I know it's a short period of time, but there's something to it. The idea of no food giving us more energy. Because I'm the same. Every time I eat foods, I'm quite strong now internally, so it's not a massive frequency drop. I just go all over the place, but I do feel a difference. I feel much more lighter whenever I'm fasting, much more energetic.
I mean, with me, it's like I tried like a lot of even Ayurveda and Chinese medicine, and like because of my Vata telling me to eat breakfast in the morning to ground my energy, I just found it over time to be quite ridiculous. It's like George doesn't eat in the morning; he's never hungry.
Yeah.
Like and garlic as well. Like it's another topic. Garlic for me is like so toxic. Also to the mind, like we had garlic recently, and I just like instantly just became very numb, very dulled in my senses. Because in Ayurveda, it's very rajasic. It's tamasic and rajasic, so it can promote ignorance. If you look at all the cultures that eat a lot of animal products and garlic combined, there's always a lot of war.
Doesn't it kill vampires? Garlic's what?
It kills you.
It kills you.
Yeah, it kills you. Yeah.
Vampires. The vampires have invented it, so
That's good. Yeah. Yeah, and also they say with garlic in the feet, you put it under your feet, it just comes into the body. It starts sticking up your whole body. It goes very quickly into the bloodstream. I do think it's a poison. Too much, definitely. Right.
I think when people eat like a really high mucus forming diet, like animal products and bread and stuff, the garlic will help break it down. But once your body is very clean, it attacks the white blood cells and actually creates problems. Like he was bedridden for 3 days.
Yeah, when I was fruitarian,
for
3 years. After 2 years, I tried eating raw garlic. I ate 2 raw garlic cloves in a salad with cucumber, kohlrabi, and some tomatoes. And after that dinner, at first I felt fine, but about 2 hours later of absorbing the garlic, I felt like my whole body was getting into paralysis. I had to go to bed and I couldn't move for 24 hours.
Really? Shit.
And my father ate the same thing. He also ate the garlic. He was also fruitarian for 1 year.
Yeah.
He was bedridden for 2 days and he was like, oh, I can feel it in my veins. It's burning my veins and it's killing my brain cells, he was saying.
Yeah, I noticed that with the brain too, because there's actually a theory that some pilots are not allowed to use a plane if they've had garlic because it affects the hemisphere in the brain. So I think that's where the theory of it creating ignorance comes from.
Yeah.
It separates the yin and yang energy of the masculine and the feminine.
Wow.
You can see it in people's diets. People that live on stimulants all day. And eat,
I was going to say, coffee, caffeine. It's a tough subject. I mean, I don't know where I stand on that, but I've also heard that it reduces the imbalance of the brain hemispheres. It reduces the brain, the blood to the brain, which is linked in with that imbalance. You said with garlic, maybe coffee, caffeine does the same. Maybe too much. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I think coffee does. I've been experimenting with coffee. Like sometimes I just don't want to drink just fruit juice all the time, and I'll be like, oh, I'll have a cup of coffee with like some almond or oat milk and some maple syrup. But it does really dehydrate me, and I feel somewhat too ungrounded and almost impatient. Do you know, into that coffee mindset, like wake up. Coffee's like crack, you know, there's some health benefits when it comes to the liver, but there's way much more cons because of the adrenal glands, the stimulant. I mean, look at the people, they're stressed the fuck out, running around, working, drinking coffee. There's a coffee shop on every corner. It's like a crack
Right.
house.
Yeah, exactly. It's a mainstream thing, at least the coffee. And I think even a good coffee's still bad, but it's okay. But then, yeah, people are drinking bullshit coffees every day and addicted to it. Truly addicted. Truly addicted to it.
Nescafe is just pure shit. You know, you're literally drinking bleach, and Nestle is like one of the worst companies. I'd be more than happy to shame Nestle because they're just so terrible.
Yeah.
Like they have aborted baby cells in their chocolates, and it's just coffee is just, I don't know, it's not so great. You're just trying to calm me down because I'm going off.
It's an interesting subject, caffeine, because I was dead against it. And actually, before I got into physical health community, I gave up tea, and my thing was fight or flight all the time. As soon as I gave up tea and caffeine, I was fine. I started feeling much better. This was before I got into physical health. But now, recently, with the Urine supplement, which has caffeine in it, I've started to reconvert and see there are some benefits to caffeine used in moderation. I feel like it's a tool, but everyone uses the tool wrong and too much. But it's a good tool, like, you know.
I agree with that. I mean, in enemas, it's not something I'd recommend. I think definitely urine or herbal tea is calmer. But the studies that done on like liver, like protecting the liver and stuff like that, it doesn't really justify the cons. But because you see, like the coffee is a diuretic, so it will deplete the body of minerals if you abuse it as well, right?
Yeah.
Caffeine is supposed to be good for like burning body fat. But the effect it has on the adrenal is not so great. With matcha, it's different because you've got the L-theanine, which calms down the body.
Yeah, the green tea,
like,
yeah.
You know, like Zen monks drink their ceremonial matcha. And then you have cacao.
Which has a load of caffeine in it. Cacao, a raw. Yeah, and that's a good one because it opens up the heart. I'd feel much more relaxed when I take cacao. I had a cacao ceremony not that long ago. It's really cool. Good one. That's another thing that people in the community, I don't like it when people in the community say that cacao is bad for you. Because I've tried it and it's okay. Maybe it's bad, I don't know. But I've only had a good experience with cacao.
I love cacao, but I don't drink it as much as I used to. Like I used to do a lot of psychic work and like use cacao because it works on the third eye and the heart chakra. But it is quite drying, it's quite heating, it's quite fiery. But it can open the heart because of the magnesium in the blood vessels. It has to be raw though, like a really good raw fermented one. If you get cocoa that's like very bitter and heat treated, it's not so great. Like ceremonial cacao is actually cultured, so it's raw, it's very gentle. Like as you speak of aged urine, that is much more like ceremonial, and it costs a bit more as well.
Yeah. What you guys got there, the teddy? Nice. Oh yeah, another thing too, the fermented. Me and you, Mitchell, have talked about that before. I didn't even know before that when you put something, it makes sense what you said. When you put something in the aged urine, which is fermented, like sage, it becomes fermented sage, doesn't it?
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
Did you experiment with trying to put things into your aged urine?
I have done in the past. I did a few things. Wild garlic that grew in the ground. I did that. That was okay. And dandelions too. And sage, actually. Yeah, only a couple of things. I should do more.
And what were your results on that?
Every time I put something inside it, it's been really powerful urine. It's either smelled amazing or it's not taken away. I felt like it's added, but I might be wrong. I felt like I added something to the situation. Whatever I put in.
I've got some here. This is from my friend who's a shaman, and I get rapé from him as well. And this is 3 years old, fermented sage.
Whoa, yeah.
Yeah, you want to try some?
That's crazy. 3-year-old fermented sage. That must be so powerful because sage is already good.
It's very strong. Yeah, I like it. I think fermented things are very much situational because, like, in a really clean body, I think they're better.
Yeah.
But they can help like with the gut bacteria and stuff. But I think like with the probiotic industry, again, it's a little bit of a scam because if you do a urine enema, you're getting free gut bacteria that's your own unique DNA that comes from you. And so many strains get damaged and they don't even reach the stomach. So it's just, there's so much going on. Like we're made of bacteria, right? Like mycelium. Like if you do magic mushrooms, you'll see like my experience, my whole body just turned into flowers.
Yeah.
On magic mushrooms. So like I was like, whoa, nature is the same, hello.
Yeah, the fermented stuff, anything what I've learned so far is anything fermented is amazing for you. Anything. And it's triggering because people think fermented, even urine, people think fermented urine is disgusting. But I don't just mean that. I mean everything fermented, from what I've learned so far, is just breast milk, fermented breast milk. I've heard that's really powerful. I don't know.
It's like a herb, right? It's like a herb because, when you think about herbs in nature, they don't require much digestion. And it's because they don't require so much digestion, you only get the positive effect from them. And it's the same with fermented stuff. So the bad stuff gets broken down. The good stuff gets easier available.
Yeah. So the bad stuff in it, when it's fermented, goes, and then the good stuff magnifies or just stays?
It gets easier to absorb.
Yeah, it's like absorbability. Like, so think of like ashwagandha or turmeric. Like, turmeric is really prized for being very anti-inflammatory.
Yeah.
But there was a specific turmeric by Living Nutrition that was fermented, and the absorbability increased like 100-fold. So because it's a root and it's like quite harsh, when you ferment it, it really breaks down the plant chemical so that it's easily absorbed. It's the same with like kimchi, like cabbage and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Cruciferous vegetables, you're not supposed to eat them raw unless they're fermented or steamed because they're actually quite toxic.
Right. Have you guys heard of I think I've told you, Mitchell. If I haven't, I should have told you about the fermented fruits Zen cleanse.
Yeah, you told me about that. But I got the
3-year-old fruits. I don't know how it works because I kind of agree with the idea that fermented fruits turn alcoholic, don't they? That's not so good. Like, but whatever they do with their, I've got it there. I haven't tried it yet. But yeah, whatever they do with their 3-year-old fermented fruits, and in the capsule they've got like 50 of them. 50 fruits have been 3-year-old. Whatever they do, I'm 100% on the results are phenomenal. So it pulls out mucoid plaque, or the liver one pulls out gallstones. I don't know why, but it's fermented fruits is the main mechanism of action. So there's something going on with fermented fruits, which is very triggering to the fruit communities when I get around to that one.
Very true.
Very.
Well, the fruit community mindset is just fresh fruits and herbs. If you talk about anything else, you're a criminal.
Yeah.
You're not allowed a vocal expression. Like I've seen it, but then I can understand. If you put a lot of fermented foods in a very fungal body, it's not great. But I think it depends on what you're using, how your body responds. It's very.
But all of them are going to get results with this. Truly, everyone. These kind of cleansers give people great results. So I'd love to know their response to the triggering that I will bring some people if I tell them that these Zen cleansers are amazing for whatever reason.
Yeah, I think results speak for themselves, Harry. And if you have an experience or testimonial and someone tries to discredit that, that's not your problem. Like if it works for you, it works for you. Just be humble with it. It's like there's too much. I've seen people block each other over urine and water in the detox community.
Yeah,
it's just hilarious.
Even about the enemas.
Enemas are amazing.
I was admin in Dr. Moore's group and they blocked me because I was doing enema posts.
What was that? You got blocked from Dr. Morse for doing enemas?
Yeah, like I don't know why. Like we talk about Dr. Moore's, we think enemas is not recommended by him. Like what? Yes, of course it is. But they think if you're giving it as a tool to use instead of just doing it once in your life, suddenly you're a criminal.
Yeah.
Enemas are great. I've done an enema and I've got rid of my headache within a few minutes. If I was just to sit there and fast and suffer, I'd be completely constipated in a bathtub. I did an enema and it's like,
Isn't it funny, the connection between enemas and headaches? I've heard that so many times. So many times.
I need to do more enemas. I'm actually trying to do them every day now.
I can't tell you the last time I done mine because it's been that long. I really should too. I can't remember the last time. It was long ago. Yeah.
Urine works the best, and I use the fennel essential oil. It's really amazing. I put essential oils in the enema.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, God, yeah. Even the flower. I'll put the flower essences.
That's what I'm gonna do as well.
Yeah.
Putting flowers up your bum.
Well, yeah, put anything up your bum, but it's just all good. And it's funny too. I like it.
Have you done rapé before, haven't you?
Oh God, yeah. But again, it's been a while since I've done that, and every time I do it, I get some trauma. But it's good. Yeah, I get some kind of like, my brain's fucked up for a moment. Then it's like, back to normal.
Oh yeah, I have it as well. Yeah, it's really traumatic for me to take. That's why I don't take it.
I'm quite familiar with it, but I love holding the space with people and doing rapé for friends. We can do a demonstration if you like. George usually does it for me. So this is
Oh yeah,
a
please.
tepi
Yeah.
pipe.
Yep.
So this is called a tepi pipe. It's spelled TEPI.
Mhm.
And what it is used for assisted rapé. The longer the pipe is, the more powerful the blow is.
Right.
And I find they work much better. This is a Karibi pipe. So
That's a single one, isn't it? For self
single application. Yeah. I
Oh,
don't.
oh, what? There was rapid in it?
Yeah.
Are you going to do it live? Is that what you're saying? That'd be amazing.
Did you
I
drop
just dropped it.
Oh, it's okay. I'll get some more.
Oh,
Yeah, we're gonna do it now.
oh, awesome. Yeah, that's a good one. Nice one. And it's got tobacco happy, isn't it? Nicotine.
Yeah, it's a shamanic tobacco that's a snuff. So there's no, in my experience, as much as I love to work with it quite often, it's not addictive. Like cannabis for me wasn't addictive as much as I was using it quite a lot. It really depends on your intentions. Like it clears so much trauma from your body. Like the first time I did it, I was crying. And then you get really relaxed. It's really amazing for your third eye.
Yeah.
It cuts out all the bullshit from your life. Same with plant medicine. It's a very powerful ceremonial healing tool that's from Mother Nature that we should be working with for sure.
Absolutely. Straight to the brain where a lot of trauma is trapped. It's direct access to this. Jesus Christ.
Straight to the pineal gland. Let's go.
Yeah. All right. Oh, this is cool. Okay. Oh yeah, the cough. Yep. And then the centeredness, the feeling of being centered, so centered, so balanced.
Yeah.
Yeah. The love, the expansion, the happiness. Good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's best to do both of them, so both noses. No. I find it very humbling. You know, like if my energy is off balance or like we have a little bit of conflict, I'm just like, rapid time.
Yeah, you don't realize sometimes you're off balance until you do things like that. And then they remind you, oh, so I was off balance. I didn't realize. And this has taken me back to what I always was, which is centered and balanced. It's really cool. Yeah, they're reminders of what we actually are. This is why I've never been against psychedelics. I mean, they're tools, they're reminders of things that sometimes we might struggle to access without them. Like we could spend 10 years meditating and being dedicated, or we can just get tastes of what we are here by taking something which is a lot easier and saves a lot of time, you know, and we'll get a taste of the God that we actually are, because we are all God, aren't we? We're all God. We've just forgotten. With amnesia. Do you remember? Yeah, just like that meme I posted. We're all God with amnesia. We just forget that we are.
Yeah, it's a good point. And I think with the spiritual community, it's becoming kind of more obvious that we're just source light energy and we're all one, fragmented to different bodies. When you call yourself a god, people are like you're coming from ego. It's actually the opposite. If you don't recognize that you're divine sovereign being, you're always going to be looking up to something else or someone else. And I think for me, it's like key to be very much eye level. I don't look up to anyone. I don't look down to anyone. For me, it's about recognizing that we're all individually unique, and we all come from God. Like we all come from source energy.
Yeah.
You know?
And in these times, we've got to, in these times of physical spiritual war, we just got to work together. We really do.
So that balances the hemisphere, like the left and the right side.
Yeah.
And it's very important to do both sides and keep your eyes closed as well. And try to keep the pipe high up, so you don't want to get it go in the back of your throat, because that's, from my experience, it gives people a really bad experience and they don't want to do it again. Yeah,
if it goes back and throat, I get sick in my stomach and want to vomit, and I will vomit, and that's a horrible experience. That's what my problem with it right now. I vomited the last few times. What you just said. Yeah, it's not nice.
I vomited the last 2 times as well.
I
wasn't going to go through this too.
I haven't actually vomited in months. I vomited when I first started with it, but I think it was my own negative and toxicity that it was clearing out. And then I don't vomit. I never feel sick from rapé. It's very...
he takes it every single day. He never gets sick from it.
Right. Every day. Wow, that's a lot. Yeah, that's a good one.
Every day he's like, okay.
Third eye superpower.
It's just my drug now.
Yeah, well, kind of. I mean, yeah, you're rebalancing, I guess, centeredness gives you that high.
But it's not addictive at all, actually.
No, I don't think it is. And do you know what? I'm not against tobacco and even nicotine. I know this sounds crazy, but you see, the problem with nicotine is that in a normal cigarette, there's like 50g of it, and that's way too much. But actually, it's well known in the biohacking community, very small doses of 2g, 5g they're okay, and they give you brain neuroplasticity and wake the brain up. So it's got nicotine in there, but not an amount that like a cigarette, but less, but wakes your brain up. So I'm always like,
I was going to say also, like, tobacco is a very masculine plant, whereas cannabis is very yin. So cannabis is like Mother Nature, then the tobacco is like the grandfather spirit. Like I often see like a grandfather shaman when I close my eyes when I use the wrapper. It's like I'm getting a blessing from spirit, which is really cool. But also with tobacco, like the amount of chemicals that's in cigarettes. If you like, American spirits are the natural form. Just burning tobacco in your environment is really protective for your energy.
Yeah.
As well. So
I mean, the girlfriend uses American spirits. She wants to get off its cigarettes completely. So they're the better versions, I think, the American spirit. Tobacco, they're pure stuff.
Yeah, they're good for transitioning if you wanted to quit smoking, because cigarettes have bleach, carbon monoxide, toilet cleaner.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know what I think? Do you know what annoys me the most about them? For other people, but I'm experiencing it because I'm around smokers sometimes when I'm up with her, is they affect your sleep a lot, and people take them at night time because they're a stimulant. The nicotine, there's a lot of stimulant in it. It really destroys your sleep like you wouldn't believe. Even if you go to sleep, it's like alcohol. You drink alcohol before bed and you seem to go off and sleep, but it affects your sleep quality. Same as cigarettes. You might sleep, but it affects your sleep. If you went under study, they seriously affect your sleep quality. Big time. And sleep is like, especially for normal people, it's more important for normal people than us to sleep. They've got to nail it, and they're not if they're smoking cigarettes before bed, which people do. It's mad.
Yeah, I think the REM cycles are pretty useful. Some people just don't sleep. Like Ranji, you know Ranji, our friend Ranji. She's amazing. Like I scheduled an interview for her, and it's gonna be like her 3 a.m. I'm like, are you sure?
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, I don't really sleep, but she's also dry fasting all the time. So because she's not eating the food, her body's not exhausted from digesting the food.
Yeah. Yeah, I find that fascinating. You don't need sleep. I've noticed it. I'm sure you guys have noticed it. So much less sleep needed. The requirements aren't needed when you fast. Dry fasting, it just comes like nothing or changes you. And then you get bored, and then you think, oh, what do I do? This is supposed to be sleep time, but I'm not awake.
Yeah, that's the only problem. That's the problem I had when I was fruitarian. I was doing a lot of fasting, and I was just fasting so much. I only needed like 5 hours of sleep to 3 hours of sleep.
Wow, yeah, nothing.
Because I felt like there's no reason to sleep. The energy is not going to end. Like,
right.
There's no end to the energy. It was just like,
yeah,
you're just in heaven all the time.
Just
in heaven, and when you
and then you got to factor in longer days.
When you are in heaven, well, exactly, and you have these long days. What do I do now? Like I have all this energy, but here I am in some kind of shitty German town with robots everywhere. I don't have anything to do. I don't have any social life. So that was me basically. I couldn't do anything. So it can be really frustrating. Like once I was sleeping for 2 hours. I tried to force myself to sleep. I managed 2 hours, and then I woke up and I was like, shit, I can't go back to bed. I'm too awake. And then I took a walk out in 3 a.m. in the morning, just trying to get rid of all that energy, because it was actually starting to get annoying. To just want to sleep is boring.
Yeah.
I think when you're in that sense, just meditate and just go deeper within your soul.
Yeah, but you can't meditate for hours unless you're.
Well, you can, but there's got to be a purpose. There's got to be a purpose to it, because if it feels purposeless sometimes, like, because we live in duality, don't we? So I know what you mean. I struggle so much with that. And also for me, when I've been in those states, sometimes, truthfully, I've just poisoned myself, retoxed myself on purpose, so that I could get back to the normal, whatever normal is, which is never normal, which is poison myself so that I can go into sleep mode longer. I've done that a few times.
Yeah, me too. I'm taking a lot of fruit just to force myself to sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
Like when I was doing a lot of liquid fasting, I actually wanted to go to sleep after eating a watermelon. Because if you're liquid fasting a lot and then you try to go back to food, it's like, what am I doing? Like, hey, why am I putting this in my body? Like, it's not even, like, what is this? Is this food? I mean, it's like an object, like a plant. I don't know why I'm putting this in. It doesn't make any sense. It becomes really weird. Like the way you look at food is like a toy, like a flower. Like You use it to decorate your environment. You don't put it in your body. Because when you put it in your body, you feel really tired.
Yeah.
And then you have to wait a while till your digestion starts again, because your body was using all of that energy for digestion for you. So you are awake without sleep. So
Yeah.
now it goes back to digestion when you can sleep again.
Yeah, exactly. Sleep and digestion is huge. I mean, the next book's going to be on sleep. I do love it, but I'm doing it more for the mainstream, I guess, than for us, because we don't really need to. Sleep is just something as a consequence of or less sleep is a consequence of what we love to do in the daytime. Although it's a fascinating subject too. I like the idea of learning, REM sleep and learns, and dream sleep, deep sleep, the types of sleep and the eye movements. It's all fascinating to me what we do with those things. Truly, it's crazy. Do you guys believe quickly that I've also heard, and it challenges me, that you can get psychedelic DMT experiences when you don't sleep for a long period of time, which seems to go against my thoughts that when I'm underslept, I feel like shit if I undersleep on purpose.
Me too. The thing is, and that's something I also noticed that happened during liquid fasting for me as well. I wasn't sleeping much for a while, and I noticed it was like there was some kind of disconnect going on with my body. Like my body was feeling very strange, like very etheric from the lack of sleep. Like even though I was really tired, it was like the brain changes its state. It's like the brain tries to force itself to emulate the modus of meditation that you experience when you're sleeping, because sleeping is basically a meditation, right?
Yes, it is. Yeah, good point.
So then your body tries to replicate that during the waking state.
What? Wait. So when you're really undertired, the body tries to replicate the meditation of the sleep, but whilst you're awake. Is that why you're saying that maybe people get these experiences, these crazy experiences? Oh, maybe that.
It's a meditative state.
Do you know what? I think you've nailed it. I don't know why I never thought of that. Yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah, that's probably it. So yeah, instead of being I love that one. Instead of being unconscious and sleeping and not knowing the benefits, you could purposely deprive yourself of sleep and have this experience of sleep whilst being awake. That'd be quite fun. But it must take quite a while though, because I know I've done 20 hours awake, 24 hours, and I don't get to that state. But it must be longer than that.
Yeah, you must go really long. Like I once went for 4 days and I didn't get into that state.
Whoa, 4 days and you didn't? Oh Jesus.
Yeah, so
and the problem with what you're saying is with 4 days is I think that there's such a thing as sleep deficit. You fuck yourself up for many days afterwards. Sometimes like you can't even recover with one full sleep after, because you've done so much damage to your health.
It happened to me. Absolutely true.
Yeah, which is dangerous. I don't want to be damaging my health from one 4 day wake up, 5-6 days. I don't know. Just
because your body is like an adaptive machine, right? It adapts to what you're doing. So if you're not sleeping, the body goes into a state where it turns off other functions that you normally need for health. And then after it is over and you go back to sleep, it needs to have a few days to go back to the state in which it was functioning properly.
Right. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. What do you think, Mitchell, of that sleep?
Yeah, I definitely think if you're fasting, you don't need to sleep. I think, like, because me, I was supposed to do a 40-day juice fast, and then I think because I announced it and prepared for it, in my mind, I've already completed it, right?
Yeah.
And I got bored, and we started having the 1 meal a day thing in the evening. But I also don't find food very satisfying spiritually. It's a very numbing thing for me. So in October, I'm definitely drawn to a lot of dry fasting, and I love meditating at 3 a.m, just awake. It's very peaceful because everyone else is sleeping, so already the energy is more peaceful.
Yeah, you can feel how people are asleep, like at 3 to 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
Like you should go out, like
it's the best time.
You break at that time, you go out and take a walk.
Yeah.
You can feel the energy.
Yeah, you can't you? It's more than just they are actually physically sleeping. You can feel a nice, peaceful calm that the madness of their brains is offline, and they're in their own meditation. You can feel they're in their own unconscious. Yeah, their mad brains doesn't come up on us at that time. I've always felt that what you're saying is true. It's more than
so insane, completely a pollution to all the energy around them.
Yeah, and the only time that they're not a pollution is when they're unconsciously sleeping and meditating. they're okay then. And then but the thing is, we can't say hello to them in that state, can we? Because as soon as we wake them up, they go back to normal. Oh, damn it. Yeah, people are funny. Yeah. But yeah, I think we've done well here. What do you reckon, guys, for this? I mean, I love the topics you've asked me and we talked about, truthfully. I've learned a lot. Like,
Yeah, it's been good fun.
Yeah, you're a great talker.
I think we all are. I think I love to talk and you both love it. And honestly, I've learned a lot. It's one of those I need to rewatch. You both said things that I'm like, oh, yeah, added it. You know what I mean? Like, interesting things. This will be a good one to put up for people. I think I like it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we put it up. It's very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, then. Do you want to close it out? Which one of you?
We close out.
Yeah.
Let's wrap it up here. Well, thank you, Harry. Thanks for joining. I really enjoyed having you on as a guest, and thank you for also joining.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We wanna
Thank you.
thanks to anyone here that's watched it this far. Yeah, please check out the links in the description. We'll post Harry's links, his link tree, and his Facebook, and all his other links. And yeah, like, share, subscribe if you like the video.
Yeah. Cheers, guys. And stay tuned to these guys for some more great interviews, some great people. Looking forward to the next ones.
Yeah, thank you, everyone.